Hello and welcome back to M.A.R.S. We're back with another Storm Arena video, so make sure you hit that like button, smash the hype button, and comment below because we're talking about female characters in this video. So for me, I don't understand where this came from about Storm and their female characters. So if any of you all have any insights or opinions, comment below. I would love to see that because the topic of this video is going to be, where are the female character pre-orders? More importantly, where are the Darkstalker pre-orders? Let's go ahead. Now, during this video that I'm showing you here, this is the booth tour, and shout out to the guy there in the green. He was with Image Anime, and you can see him like clearing out and pushing everyone away as we're recording. So huge thank you to that individual there. I'm not sure who he is, but hey, shout out to you. You're a MVP of this video, if I'm being honest. So yeah. You can see right now we're looking at the figures, and they look incredible here. Darkstalkers, they look incredible. When we spoke to Lethal Collector, we did an interview with him at this event. When we spoke to him, he did mention that the figures felt a bit fragile, so maybe that's why we're not getting the pre-orders just as yet. But if I'm being honest, I feel like Halloween was this past Friday. Storm Arena pre-orders have been going up Friday consistently ever since like the last week of January, right? So that has been like the day for pre-orders. And for Darkstalkers, having that influence, I would say, from like the Halloween holiday with all of their characters and things like that, you know, you would think they would have a pre-order drop on Halloween for at least one of the Darkstalker figures. Unfortunately, we didn't get that. Instead, we got the announcement of the M.A.R.S Pro Festival, and you can see it right here. These are like their top people that they are promoting. They are promoting Storm Collectibles and Storm Arena. Good Smile Company, Figma, they're listed below or after. Kayado, I don't even see Kayado up there, but I'm sure it's there somewhere. Haya Toys, like, basically what I'm getting at is that Storm Collectibles and Storm Arena is going to be pretty much be the main event for this festival. So I'm super excited to see new reveals, exclusives, the whole 9 yards. But, you know, going back to this video, or just going back to seeing how far we've come along with the Darkstalkers figures. As Lethal Collector said, you know, the figures do feel fragile. So with that, you know, taking that into consideration, it does make me feel that, you know, okay, maybe they're just pushing it along further. However, Halloween would have been the most perfect time to drop the pre-orders, at least for one of the figures, right? Even if you were to go out and say, we're going to drop the pre-order on Halloween. It's a big holiday in the States, right? And I get that Storm Collectibles, Storm Arena, they're based in Hong Kong, and they probably don't celebrate Halloween, which makes sense. So I understand like that look at it. But, I mean, if you were building more hype for Storm Arena, like if I'm in Storm's ear, I'm telling him, dude, drop the pre-order on Halloween. Like that's like, it's history making, right? The first ever Darkstalker line coming in at the 1/12 scale from Storm Arena, dropping a pre-order on Halloween would have been historic, you know? But it is what it is. So we don't know when the pre-orders for these figures are going to be going. We don't know what's happening outside of Darkstalkers, if there's going to be more reveals and things like that. But we also spoke to the Lethal Collector about Chun-Li, and he said Chun-Li feels great. So I'm just like, where are the female pre-orders now? Because Chun-Li felt good in his hands. He did say again that Morrigan and Lilith were a bit fragile, so maybe that's why they're pushing everything out. But look, he also mentioned about Benimaru that is releasing in Q1 of 2026. Well, according to him, the owner is still not satisfied with the head sculpt. So what does that mean? Does that mean it's going to be tweaked leading up to the release date, or will the release date be pushed back? More than likely, the release date is still going to be Q1, and they're just going to tweak it and make whatever adjustments they need to do for the release. And I feel like Darkstalkers could have received that same treatment. I mean, obviously they have their own plan of a rollout, but for Halloween, for building hype, 1/12 Collective, like, yeah, I feel like that was a missed opportunity on Storm's part. And that's why I'm making this video, because in all honesty, I was expecting a pre-order for Darkstalkers to come out this Friday on Halloween. That would have been perfect, but we didn't get that. And then with Chun-Li, Lethal Collector did confirm that, you know, Chun-Li felt great in his hands. So that figure, you would think would be going up for pre-order, relatively soon, right? But we still don't have anything from Chun-Li yet. The figure looks to be decent. I've seen the comments of people not really feeling this figure, so maybe it's going to get pushed back even further. But even still, going based off the information we know with Benimaru and how the owner feels about Benimaru, I still think you could drop a pre-order and make the adjustments along the way. Even if you were to, I don't know, like drop a pre-order and say Q3 or 2026, like, yeah, a lot of people probably aren't going to like that. They won't vibe with that, but at least we're getting some promotional images. We know what's coming with the figure, and we kind of have an expectation with the figure. And it's just like the curse continues for Storm when it comes to the female characters. I just don't understand what it is. Like, we're going to have to do a deep dive video and just digest what the issue is for female figures when it comes to Storm and Storm Collectibles, Storm Arena, and what have you. And now, don't forget, we now have other reveals for King of Fighters, KOF. You've got Vice and Mature, more female figures. But when are we going to get the pre-order, or when are we going to get, anything for the female characters? Who knows? Like, at this point, going into it, I was thinking like Iori probably is going to be the last pre-order, but I don't think so anymore. I think it's going to be the first pre-order because the female characters, for whatever reason, and these female characters look really damn good. Look at that. Look at the hair and all that. Awesome, right? For whatever reason, the female characters, they get the short end of the stick. And I think the reason why, and like I said, comment below if you know or if you have an opinion. I think the reason why is because the faces look similar across the board. That would be my explanation or my theory as to why people just in general do not vibe well with the female characters of Storm. On the channel, we've only reviewed 2 female characters, believe it or not. That was Mai from KOF. Fabulous figure. I really enjoyed that figure a lot. I thought it was a cute-ass figure, right? And then Morrigan, which again was another one of those instances where like the figure seemed cute. It was a nice character. It was a great review. I had a pleasure reviewing the figure. But just those are the only 2 that we've done here on the channel. So I guess maybe that has something to do with it as well. Like maybe not enough people cover the female characters, and that's why. But there definitely is something going on with the female characters when it comes to Storm Arena and Storm Collectibles. I do want to go back. This was at Capcom Cup. So this has been back in March. And you can see like the face of Morrigan. Just for me, it's not there. It doesn't look that great. It could look a lot better. And then we saw this figure at the latest New York Comic Con, where you can see a really great shot of Morrigan here, and it looks 1,000 times better. So perhaps that has something to do with it. They want to release perfection, and I get that. But damn, man, like I still personally believe that Halloween Storm Arena, that was the time to drop the pre-order for either Morrigan or Lilith. And if I'm being honest, I think the Lilith looks incredible. And then, of course, seeing it in person is one thing also. But this Lilith, man, like the eyes look good. The face looks great. I'm really enjoying Lilith. And I wouldn't even mind if she goes up for pre-order first, if I'm being honest, of all of the female characters to come from Storm Arena. More than likely, it's going to be Chun-Li. I had high expectations again for Halloween for one of these characters to come out for Darkstalkers for a pre-order. The Lilith, if I'm being honest right now, Lilith is my most anticipated female character to come out of Storm Arena. Right now, at this moment, the eyes look great. It's the same kind of mold, minus the cleavage area. There's going to be a lot less compared to Morrigan, but the face looks great. The body looks great. And I'm just very excited to get a pre-order. So yeah, comment below. Let me know. How do you feel about all this? It is unfortunate we don't have a female character pre-order. And I'm just dying to know like how everyone else feels. Maybe there is someone out there who knows the exact reason as to why their female characters is like this. Again, my theory is that it has to do with the similarity of the face sculpts across the board, how they all share like a similar feature of the face, and there's no like distinctive feature between the characters. That would be my guess. But yeah, obviously with most characters, like I feel like, or most company, I feel like the female figures may be a bit touchy, just because you have to be a little bit more gentle and delicate whenever crafting and sculpting the figure. So maybe that has something to do with it. I'm not sure, but comment below. Let me know. I am very excited for the female characters coming from Storm Arena, and I'm hoping come Anime's Pro Festival, we're going to see more female reveals, probably like an articulated Vice and mature, and it would be great if it's even painted. It's been, almost a month now since we've been at the Comic-Con, and to see that for Thanksgiving, we've got more news coming our way. Absolutely incredible. I mean, what a time to be alive for a Storm Arena fan. And Storm Arena has done so well, this year alone. It's just like mind-blowing looking back and thinking of all of the reveals, all of the pre-orders, and just all of the exclusives and things like that. So be looking out for a recap video for Storm Arena 2025. We will be dropping that probably in December sometime. And I just can't wait to make all the coverage. And I'm thankful for Storm for having all the content throughout the year. And I hope you all are too. I'm thankful for you as well for tuning in each video, dropping that like button, commenting and engaging, and also the hype button as well. So thank you all as well. And we will see you all very soon, probably tomorrow, with the Kin Masters Shanghai first ever review. Or exclusive, I'm sorry. Thank you all for watching. Until next time. Peace.